weapons of mass destruction, in particular nuclear weapons. We lived down the street in either direction from this story, which, believe me, gives me pause. Valerie Plame is the author of the New York Times best-selling memoir, Fair Game, My Life as a Spy, My Betrayal by the White House, which was released as a major motion picture of the same name. She also narrated and appeared in the critically acclaimed documentary on the dangers of nuclear proliferation, which was called Countdown to Zero. An active member of the Global Zero Leadership Board, Valerie does extensive public speaking throughout the country on various issues, including nuclear proliferation and the role of women in intelligence. She's written for Newsweek, CNN, The Daily Beast, The Huffington Post, The Guardian, and a lot of other places. She works as the Director of Community Outreach at the Santa Fe Institute, and she serves on the board of the United Way of Santa Fe County, Penn State School of International Affairs, Postpartum Support International, and she's very deeply involved with our local public school reform. She now, thank God, lives in Santa Fe with her 2 children and her husband, retired U.S. Ambassador Joe Wilson. I'm so honored to present to you Valerie Plame Wilson.
Tell you with 100% certainty, I never thought that Ali McGraw would introduce me for anything. But it's a joy and it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be asked to speak to you here this afternoon. My family moved to Santa Fe from Washington, D.C. in March 2007. We had been through, as you may have heard, quite a political scandal. And one day we looked up and we realized we didn't have jobs anymore. We didn't have any family in the Washington area, and it has really hot and humid summers. So it's time to look for someplace else. In my other life, I had come out to Los Alamos quite a bit to work on these issues, nuclear counterproliferation and these operations. So I knew a little bit about this part of the world. And when it came time to think about where we wanted to move, this was number 1 on my list. Now, Joe is from California. He's a surfer. It took a little bit of convincing because there is no ocean. But almost every day, and this is true, he says, thank you. Thank you for bringing us here. And we were immediately and warmly embraced by this community. We had just arrived the first week, and Joe and I were walking downtown, and a beat-up Pinto went by us at a great rate of speed, slammed on the brakes, he backed up, rolled down his window. I mean, who rolls down your car window anymore? Rolled down his window, and this guy inside gave us a great thumbs up. He said, we're so glad you chose Santa Fe. And, I mean, what a wonderful change from where we had been before. We were regularly called traitors and liars on the pages of our hometown newspaper, the Washington Post. So for Joe and for me, it was the first time really in our adult lives that we were in one place long enough to become engaged in our community. And early on, it was obvious, as you've heard previously, there's a pattern here. Something about Santa Fe attracts really accomplished, powerful, strong women. Women like Ali McGraw, Joanne Balzer, Suzanne Gollin, Cindy Kahn, Deborah Potter. There's many here. Marty Murphy. So as I got to know these women, got to know my community, I thought I really have to up my game. Joe and I know from personal experience of having moved every 2 years, basically, in our adult lives, that there's a pattern of behavior, a pattern that happens when you move to a new place. And it starts out really euphoric. This is great. Can you believe the farmer's market? This is fabulous. And it's followed by the dip of the reality check. Wait, they said they would be here tomorrow last week. And then you find your equilibrium and you say, you know, we can live here and we can navigate this successfully. And that pattern, of course, reproduce itself here in Santa Fe. So once we took off our rose-colored glasses, we realized that there are some real problems that this city has to grapple with. At the top of the list, I would say, would be public education. Less than 60% of our public high school students graduate. That means every year we have hundreds of students coming into our community without even the benefit of a high school education. Jobs. This state and city are bleeding jobs. Just this week I read in the paper there are 2 long-term, well-known retail operations that are closing their doors in this city. Environmental concerns. As we all cross our fingers and hope that there's more snow on the way, or we hope that we have a good monsoon season, it's so important that issues of water usage and good stewardship of our gorgeous land is taken seriously and with the entire community in mind. And it's obvious to, I think, everyone here that if these problems are not addressed, the things that we love that make this a city different will make it not so special anymore. And that's why I'm so proud to say publicly and give my voice to support for Javier Gonzales for the next mayor of Santa Fe. Issues, has the background and broad experience and the commitment to continue to build on the legacy of Mayor David Koss. My husband Joe has known Javier for some years, beginning in his capacity as the chair of the New Mexico Democratic Party, and he was truly excited when he heard that Javier would run for mayor. I met Javier for lunch not too long ago, and I guess like Allie, I jumped right in. I wanted to know, where are you in these things? There are the things I care about. I was immediately struck by his thoughtfulness, his seriousness about the issues, although happily he doesn't take himself too seriously. I immediately quizzed him on his understanding and positions regarding education. I'm on the board of the United Way, and we put all our chips in on the 0 to 5 portion of education. How important that piece is, if you care about things about high school graduation rate, getting in early and fixing it before the children even arrive at school so that they're not behind even as they begin. Javier is the father of 2 beautiful girls, and he knows firsthand that education isn't just a theoretical item on a checklist to get elected. I really liked his idea about creating a jobs council to match the needs of city's businesses to the education and training we provide to the city. And he is also correct in seeking to aggressively promote world-class arts, culture, and tourism that we have in Santa Fe. And on environmental issues, Javier's endorsement by the Sierra Club told me everything I need to know. So, as a citizen of Santa Fe, as a mother, and as a woman who cares deeply about the health and sustainability of my community, I wholeheartedly endorse Javier Gonzales for our next mayor. I know he'll continue to make us proud to say, yeah, we're from Santa Fe. Thank you.